Hi, everyone. In this video, we will look at what are America's fundamental legal or lawful principles. And I really wanted to cover this. I came across this in Dr. Lawrence Wilson's book, Legal Guidelines for Unlicensed Practitioners. Anybody that's going into the private, whether it's a healing ministry or an educational ministry, should read this book. It's very important. But I came across this fundamental rundown, and I thought it was really important because a lot of people need encouragement that educating ourselves and moving into the private and using whatever means that we can to stop government overreach and to restore ourselves to how our nation was intended to be is this high principles. This is a high calling. It can be scary, and it's worth it. Founding principles are super important to teach ourselves and to be encouraged to teach our friends and family and our children. So the sovereignty of the individual rather than that of the government is the basis for the American legal system. Sovereignty of the individual rather than that of the government is the basis for the American legal system. And this idea can be traced back to our founders' belief that God's divine laws are to be held sacred above all man-made laws, as is stated in the Bible. You may have heard this called natural rights or even natural law, those that are God-given and precede humankind's entrance into any society. So no government should infringe upon them. And our founders had been exposed to groupthink or government overreach, which is why they said, we want God's divine laws. And our laws, our legal or lawful system in this country is absolutely based upon biblical laws. When you dig into that knowledge, then you'll see that, this is where we came up with our legal system. If you're liking this content, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. So number one of these foundational lawful principles is natural rights applied to individuals and never to groups and organizations. And you'll notice there's been a big push, of course, under the name of justice and equality and protection that we need group think and togetherness for the common good, for the greater good, that having individual thought and critical thinking is to be looked down upon within this movement towards for the common good. However, we know in this country that is actually a recipe for disaster. That's communism, it's Marxism, it's socialism. So we want to remember the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Law and government are supposed to exist to help each individual achieve his or her highest potential. Government exists to protect each person's natural rights, and that's a right to privacy, a right to move into the private, a right to heal the way we want to heal, a right to grow our own food, and so on. This concept is very much why we don't incorporate. As soon as you're given permission from the governmental entity, then those individual natural rights cease to exist. It's an illusion. And today, governments want to control every aspect of all citizen choice, from our education to healthcare to faith and religion and licensing, just to name a few. Many have lost the value and the natural right of choice. And sorry, my dog wants her dinner. So we'll have some humor during this video because I'm not going to stop. All right, number two, the ability to heal others is a gift from the Creator and a way of loving others. It is an ancient and natural human vocation that should come from God as the first healer and the healing ministry. Current laws do not acknowledge this fact. We must wade through restrictions in our healing education, jump through hoops about who is qualified to heal or teach and how that may be done. When we are allowed access to who and what works and the choice of low-cost effective methods, healing then can be tested and woven into our healthcare, rather than the monopoly created by pharma, sick care, and governmental licensing agencies. These agencies that want to tell us what to do and how to heal. That it's only one way and it's their way. So number 3, the legal structure of the healing arts and public education system is outdated. They're dangerous and inadequate for the task of healing and healing education. The unconstitutional licensing laws and agencies gives control of healthcare to one group, stifling creativity, innovation, and healthy competition. Practitioners get unnecessarily attached to the status of having a license, encouraging them to become part of the sick care cabal. And if you head through the library of videos on this channel, there's a series of 4 that talks about what are our actual constitution rights. What are we founding this private membership association lane, the unincorporation lane on? What gives us these rights to talk about what we're going to talk about? And it is the Constitution. And it wasn't until licensing agencies came along and they took something that was never illegal in the first place. So healing, for example, not illegal in the first place, and said, oh, but now it's illegal unless you're licensed, unless we give you that stamp of approval. We can see that there's some sort of reasoning behind this. I've said this many times before. We don't just want somebody that takes a 2-day chiropractic seminar to hang out their shingle down the street. But that is what chiropractic college is for. When you have that degree, then that should be enough. We don't need to go get licensed again and again and again and again. So that's just one example. And again, I will put the content and I will link the book you can read below. I'm sure I'll be covering some more content from the book. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here.